Hey everybody, this is Pika. Welcome back to more Pokémon Stadium. Last episode we took on the Pika Cup. This episode we're gonna put on the Pika Cup. So, I'm going to show the Pokemon I've chosen, and we're going to start the battles. Oh, excuse me, I forgot to register the right Pokemon. Sorry, I'll be back in just a moment. Just give me a moment, guys. Alright everyone, this is the team I'm going to be using. Usually before I start recording I register the Pokemon that I'm going to use, but I forgot to this time. It saves about a minute, but we'll be fine. Alright, so the first Pokemon that we're going to be using is Raichu. He has a very good speed, a very good special. He has the move Thunder Wave, which can be useful. He has Thunder, which does a lot of damage. And for dire situations, he has Growl and Seismic Toss, which can be quite good. Next up, we're going to be using Gengar, who has an extraordinary good speed and special. He has Nightshade for when Mega Drain won't be doing a lot of damage, which is in a lot of situations. He also has Confuse Ray, which can be useful just like Thunder Wave. Next up, we're going to be using Executor, who has a decent special, a low speed, but a very good defense and attack, also a very decent HP. He has Mega Drain just like Gengar, however he resists Psychic type moves, which is very useful. In dire situation he also has Psychic, Barrage and Toxic, which can be quite useful. The next Pokemon we're going to be using is Lapras, who is a Water and Ice type, who has Bubble Beam and Ice Beam, which is quite useful. Very high HP and pretty decent special, which can both be very useful, not so high speed, and of course Growl for when things start getting difficult. The next Pokemon we're going to be using is Starmie, who has Bubble Beam and Thunder, and Substitute for some very unique situations. It can be quite useful. And of course Psy Wave, which is not very useful, but very high speed and very good special. Next up we're going to be using Chansey, who is a Pokemon that a lot of people underrate, including myself. But Chansey is a very useful Pokemon for the Pika Cup, thanks to Counter. And of course a very decent special and a ridiculously good HP. And other than that, she also has Thunderbolt and Bubble Beam, which can be quite useful, so expect a summary of Chansey. And that is the team I'm going to be using for today. These are of course based on the speedrun world record by Worcester, who in my opinion used pretty much the most efficient team that I personally can see. So I guess that's enough about the team. We're going to start the battles from here on out, so let's go. Alright, time for the first battle. But I also want to go into the summary for this episode while I'm in this first battle. Now, about this first battle, before the summary, it's not too difficult of a battle. You just need to throw out your Lapras at it and just use Ice Beam. It can be a little dangerous. You know, you might miss a continue because the opponents have some grass type moves and they have Double Edge, which can do a lot of damage. But if they use something like Razor Leaf or Mega Drain or Double Edge, you can switch into Chansey and counter the damage right back. Chansey can survive that, but other than that, you need to be careful of Ekans, who can wrap you, so you can attack. Then you need to switch out to either Chansey or Raichu or Starmie. It really depends on what you want to use. But let's get into the summary of Chansey. Alright, the summary of Chansey was a normal type Pokemon with the moves Tri-Attack, unfortunately, Counter, Bubble Beam, and Thunderbolt. Now, Chansey's base stats: 250 HP, attack and defense 5, special 105 and speed 50. Now, Chansey is an absolute beast in the metagame of Red, Blue, and Yellow, to the point that Blizzy, starting from Generation 2, was never even as good as Chansey was back in Generation 1. Now, there's a lot that can be said about Chansey, like her favorable matchups and her non-favorable matchup that she can still do a lot of damage in, but I feel like that will make this summary a little bit too long, so I'll keep it to the basics. So the most used moves on Chansey would be something like Thunder Wave, Soft Boiled, which we unfortunately don't have in the Pika Cup, Thunderbolt or Ice Beam, and Counter and Seismic Toss are often used. Now Chansey, she can tank pretty much any hit that a special Pokemon in the metagame will throw out at her. She can survive at least 4 hits of a Blizzard using Articuno, which is pretty much the strongest special damage output that you can get in Generation 1 when you don't factor in critical hits. So Pokemon like Starmie and Alakazam are not that much of a threat to Chansey, and she can especially paralyze those Pokemon with which moves she can tank. So she's very dangerous in that aspect. However, her counters are of course the physical Pokemon with her 5 defense. However, the most used physical Pokemon are Rhydon and Golem, and Chansey can outspeed those, and she can use things like Bubble Beam or Ice Beam to 2-hit KO those most used Pokemon. Other Pokemon that can be physically used, like Gengar and Executor with Explosion, those are a very big threat to Chansey, because Explosion will do a lot of damage, especially with the critical hit. But Chansey is a really good Pokemon. I personally used a Blizzy back in Generation 4, and I wasn't quite that good in the competitive metagame of Generation 4, so I didn't use Blizzy to its full potential. That's why when I started this Let's Play, I underestimated Chansey in the Pika Cup a little bit, but right now I can really see its potential, and it's a really strong Pokemon if used correctly. The split of special into special attack and special defense really hurt Blizzy in the later generations. Now, Chansey did make a little bit of a comeback in later generations thanks to that one item, I can't remember the name, maybe it was Everstone, but that item that boosts your defense by 50% if it's not a fully evolved Pokemon. So that was pretty good. So that's the summary of Chansey. Alright, so that was the summary of Chansey. Now, usually when I do a summary, I slow down the gameplay a bit. You know, I take a little bit longer to choose my next option, but today I really just want to get these first few battles over with, and I'll get to why in just a second. However, about this battle that we're now in, it is not too difficult. It has some water Pokemon, some flying Pokemon, and a ground type Pokemon, so a very good option is to start with Starmie. However, Tangela may be a little bit of a problem because it is a grass type and has Mega Drain and Body Slam, which can paralyze. So you need to be a little bit careful for Tangela, but Lapras should be able to defeat that. But as you can see in this battle, I got my Lapras paralyzed, so I started switching around a little bit more to get to preserve the perfect match and the continue, because I really want to rack up these continues, and I'll get into why in just a second. So I'll first let this battle end, and then we'll talk about that. So this was a perfect match. That's perfectly fine with me. let's go to the next battle now. Let's see here, the next trainer can be a little bit difficult, but Raichu should be able to do the job. Alright, this battle now. Now, as you can see, this trainer has a level 20 Fearow, which can be a little bit difficult. So he can go for Fearow with Wigglytuff and Kingler, or he can go for a level 17 Pokemon with the other two level 15s, or level 17, level 17, and level 16 Pokemon. So it's like an option between some choices, and more battles are like this that we've seen before in these cups. So I just threw out Raichu, and I'm gonna use Thunder to finish off this Kingler. Now, what's your next Pokemon going to be? It is the level 15 Wigglytuff, so I am expecting its last Pokemon to be that level 20 Fearow, which is not too difficult considering it's a Fearow, and it doesn't quite have some really balanced moveset like other types of Pokemon would have. A critical hit, that is unfortunate. That is our Raichu down. I'm going to throw out Starmie, I think. And we should be able to finish this off with Thunder, or maybe Double Beam, maybe not. I'm just going to use Thunder. Alright, so Thunder didn't quite finish it off. The next move is going to be Bubble Beam. Now, Double Edge can do a lot of damage, but it also damages the opponent back. Now, what I want to talk about, so the first 4 battles of the Pika Cup are a little bit on the easier side. However, the last 4 battles, it is a constant match of our level 15 Pokemon against one Pokemon of level 20 and then 2 remaining Pokemon of level 15 who are really strong Pokemon like Gyarados and Arcanine and Dragonair. So they are very, very strong, a lot stronger than our Pokemon. And Worcester put it into words very well, and that is that a level 20 Pokemon is 33% higher level than our level 15 Pokemon. So 1/3 higher level, so their damage output, their stats are much better than ours, but also your level is calculated into your damage output, formula. So on top of having higher stats, they also do more damage because they are of higher level, on top of having higher stats. So I hope I explained that right, but that makes the last 4 battles extremely, extremely difficult. Now, we didn't get a perfect match this time, thanks to that critical hit, but we'll be fine with 2 or 3. Now, this trainer, once again, can go for the level 18 and then level 17 and level 17, or can straight up go for 15, 15, 18. It really depends on what the trainer feels like. I cannot guarantee any certain Pokemon being used. Alright, so Starmie can use Bubble Beam against this Onix. Now, if it was Drowsy that was first sent out, we will be using Substitute. He can still use its Drowsy, maybe. What is your next Pokemon? Tentacruel. We can use Thunder on that. Tentacruel is quite strong in the speed and special department, so need to watch out a little bit, but I think Starmie will win this with some Thunders. Alright, critical hit, that is a guaranteed KO. Perfectly fine. So, if he sends out Drowsy, he can use Psychic, and Substitute can take about 9 damage, and that Psychic will only do about 8 or 7 damage, so you can avoid the special drop and the damage taken from a Psychic straight on. So Nidoking, we just need to Bubble Beam him. Nidoking does have Thunderbolts, which he is efficient at using because he has a decent special compared to something like Rhydon. So it is usable, but not as strong as our Starmie's damage output. So that is this battle over with. Now it is time for the last 4 battles, and I am not looking forward to these. Because as I've said, the opponents use very strong Pokemon. So I think we're ready, but not very confident. Alright, so this first trainer has a level 20 Gengar and a level 20 Raticate. And a level 20 Executor, I forgot about that. So it uses one of those 3 Pokemon, and it finishes off with Mr. Mime, Golduck, or Lickitung. So I'm going to pick Raichu, Lapras, and Chansey for this battle. And just hope that Golduck is his first Pokemon, because that is a very advantageous matchup. Now, let's see your start Pokemon. It is a Golduck. Okay, so Golduck is very prone to switching into another Pokemon that is level 20. So when he switches, we can use Thunder Wave to get that first turn in and have it paralyzed. So it won't be able to move sometimes, and it's definitely slower than us. So that is Eradicate paralyzed. Now I'm going to use Growl, and Growl is going to lower its attack because Eradicate has a giant special stat compared to us. Oh, Thunder Mist, but it's fully paralyzed, so that's good. Eradicate has a giant attack set compared to us, and it also has very strong moves like Hyper Beam, so it can do a destructive amount of damage with Hyper Beam or Double Edge. Now it can also use Dig, and I'm prepared for this with Lapras. Lapras can survive these digs and use Ice Beam back on it. Thanks to Growl, Lapras will survive much longer against this Eradicate. So let's just use Ice Beam. And I think we're going to win the one-on-one against Eradicate in this case, where it's paralyzed and it might not be able to move sometimes. And it has its attack lowered thanks to Growl. So Raichu and actually also Lapras are very good options for this battle thanks to their Growl. So let's just continue with Ice Beam. Alright, that should be one more hit and Eradicate is down. Alright, Hyper Beam. We should be able to survive. Alright, I got a voice crack, so I needed a little bit of water. Alright, but I'm ready to go again. Alright, that's Eradicate down. Very fortunate. But we still have an uphill battle against 2 Pokemon. Golduck. Lapras should not be able to do anything anymore against you. So the next turn, Lapras should be down. But then we'll have Raichu finish off the job. Alright. That is Lapras down this turn. And I'm going to send out Raichu.
Which Pokemon is coming out? Here's a Pokemon chain.
Now, we should be able to one-hit KO this Golduck. However, it is possible for this Golduck to survive one Thunder. Will it survive? Alright. And it survived with 2 HP, alright. We are in trouble, kind of. If only we had something like Swift. Now, I'm going to switch out Chansey. And hope it can tank 2 of these digs. I think it can. At least survive with half HP. Alright, so a little less than half HP remaining. Excuse me. Now, I don't know if Chansey will survive this. I tried Thunderbolt hoping that it would do something else than dig, but unfortunately it didn't. Now, will we be able to win if its last Pokemon is something like Mr. Mime? Yeah, I think so. We can one-hit KO this Golduck. I don't think it's faster than us, or Raichu. So yeah, I'm just going to use Seismic Toss with its 100% accuracy. And then we'll see what the next Pokemon is.
Yeah, it's a hit. A light tap decided the outcome. We're down to 1 Pokemon aside.
Alright, it's Lickitung. I'm just going to hit it with our strongest attacks.
The battle is coming right down to the wire. Vigorous attack.
Critical hit, okay, that is a one-hit KO, alright. I didn't expect the special to be that low. Alright, so we're off to the next battle. Now the next battle has once again that level 20 Pokemon in its team, I believe. Alright, 3 continues for the last 3 matches, that should be fine. Alright, but this trainer also has a level 18, 17, and 17 Pokemon as alternative for it sending out its level 20 and level 15 Pokemon. Now, I'm going to use Raichu, Gengar, and Chansey with their high special stats, which I'm going to need. Now, Electrode, switch out to Gengar, because this Electrode has Explosion. It doesn't always use Explosion, but it's very prone to using it. Now, with Gengar out, who is a Ghost type, it is going to be in vain. Now, knowing that he just sent out a level 15 Pokemon, we have an uphill battle against the level 20 Porygon. Now, that is going to be difficult, especially with Gengar out, because that Porygon has Psychic. Also Thunder Wave, Ice Beam, and Conversion. Now, I'm just going to use Confuse Ray on it. And then hope that it hits itself in Confusion as much as possible. And to top it off, I can actually use Thunder Wave on it. Having it confused and paralyzed. That would be optimal. Now a Mega Drain to see how much damage we can pull back. Maybe Nightshade would have been a better option, but I didn't think that Mega Drain would do so little HP, so little damage, to be honest. So I'm just going to throw out Raichu. And I think I'm going to Thunder Wave it. Yeah. So it's now paralyzed and confused. Hopefully it hits itself in confusion as much as possible. If it doesn't, we'll be able to... It is able to be paralyzed. Fully paralyzed. Alright. Let's see. Thunder. Alright, that did quite a bit of damage. I'm happy about that. And it hit itself in confusion again. Now it is now in damage in the HP range for Seismic Toss to KO, which is very fortunate. I'm happy about how this battle went so far.
Is it down and out? There's only one Pokemon left in reserve.
Now let's see, what is your last Pokemon? That should be Muck.
Oh, it's Muck.
Alright, the last level 15, who is Muck?
The remaining Pokemon
Excuse me?
Muck is 2-1. The 10th
Alright,
battle to
Thunder Wave, I think. That should be able to secure our win. If I'm going to use Thunder, and if that hits, that's perfectly fine. Right, Body Slam now. That is one of the reasons why you have Chansey for this last battle. Because Muck has Body Slam and you can counter all the damage right back to it. Now, it is not guaranteed to be using Body Slam. So, you need to be a little careful. Let's see here. Raichu is at low HP. I could go for the Seismic Toss or for the KO with Thunder. The straight up KO with Thunder. I'm going to use Thunder. And it missed. Alright. But Muck is thoroughly paralyzed, so let's try Thunder again. Alright. Will you? Nope. You will not hit. Chansey should be able to win this with Thunderbolt. That should be fine. One or two hits. I think two. I'm just going to use Thunderbolt. Alright, 2 hits. Now I did use Body Slam, but I could have used counter, but it's not guaranteed that it'll use Body Slam. So, one more Thunderbolt and that should be the end of this battle. Alright, now the last 2 battles, and boy are they difficult. Yeah, I'm going to explain it as we go. Now, this trainer has a level 20 Arcanine and a level 20 Gyarados. They are absolute beasts stat-wise and in terms of their damage output. Now, I'm going to use Raichu, Starmie, and Chansey for this battle. They are the most efficient no matter which of the 2 possible team combinations that this trainer will use. So it can go for the Gyarados and it can go for the Arcanine. If it uses Gyarados, it usually goes as its first Pokemon. Now, Rhydon, pay attention. You would say that Rhydon versus Raichu is a very beneficial matchup for Rhydon, and it could use Earthquake. However, for some reason, this AI is programmed to think that Arcanine is much better at this battle. So, I'm going to use Thunder Wave, because it is somewhat guaranteed that it's going to switch to Arcanine. And when it's paralyzed, you want this Arcanine down with Thunder, and as many critical hits as possible. Now this Arcanine can go for something like Dig, which 1-hit KOs, or it can go for Dragon Rage, which does exactly 40 damage. Now, if you paralyze Arcanine, it usually goes for the Dragon Rage. Now, we need another critical hit, or for Arcanine to be fully paralyzed. And we got another critical hit. That is very beneficial. We are pretty much in the advantage now. So its next Pokemon is Jinx. Now, I don't know if we're faster than Jinx, but I'm going to use Thunder Wave on it, just to be sure. Now, Jinx is faster than us, and it's going to finish it off with Psychic. However, this is where we have Starmie for. Starmie can be very beneficial in this match. Now, Jinx has Lovely Kiss, which puts us to sleep. However, to avoid this, we can use Substitute. However, Jinx can also go for the Psychic, which does about 8 to 7 damage, just like the Drowsy from earlier. And that will make sure that our Substitute will remain for one turn, even if it is attacked. So, I'm just going to use Thunder on it while we are in Substitute. Let's see here. 2 more Thunders should be able to do it. So, as you can see, the Substitute survived one fully powered Psychic. And that is very beneficial. Or that's another Thunder hitting. It might be in KO range for Bubble Beam. Alright, so Substitute broke. I'm just going to do another Substitute, just to be sure. Our last opponent is Rhydon, which can be quite dangerous if not dealt with correctly. Alright, so not a critical hit, so we are safe for another turn. I'm just going to finish it off with Bubble Beam, see what happens. Alright, its HP was low enough. Now its last Pokemon is Rhydon. We should be able to KO that with just Bubble Beam. Rhydon has a very low special, so it will not be able to survive the Bubble Beam. And that should be the end of this battle. We are reaching the end of the episode. Much quicker and much better than anticipated. So far, the Pika Cup. Alright, so the last battle. This is pretty much one of the most difficult battles in the entire game. Now, once again, it has the level 20 Pokemon, but this time it's Dragonair and Alakazam. And there's absolutely no way that you can win against a level 20 Alakazam in this game with these level 15 Pokemon. So you really gotta hope for the Alakazam. Now I am going to use Raichu for the first Pokemon that is going to send out. Once again, this is a trainer that its first Pokemon is going to be one of its level 15 Pokemon, and its second Pokemon is going to be Dragonair or Alakazam. Now, I just want to deal with that first Pokemon with, I think, Raichu. And, to deal with the Dragonair, I want Lapras. And to deal with its last Pokemon, which can be either Starmie, Golem, Champ, Kangaskhan, I'm going to use Starmie. So, let's just pray for the Dragonair. But we'll first have to deal with the starting matchup. Now, it is Kangaskhan. We need the critical hit. And when I say that we need a critical hit or paralysis, I really mean that in these battles. They're that difficult if you don't get it. Now, we didn't get the critical hit, so if Dragonair is the next Pokemon, Raichu will not be able to do anything. Now, I know that Raichu can survive one Earthquake from Kangaskhan with 1 or 2 HP, so that is beneficial for this matchup in the short term. But Dragonair likes using Dragon Rage on Raichu, so we don't have a turn to Thunder Wave Dragonair anymore because we don't have our full HP anymore. Now we can still win this battle if in the next matchup, which is Lapras versus Dragonair, the Wrap from Dragonair misses and our Ice Beam critical hits or freezes. Now I know that all of that is pretty unlikely to happen in one run, but we won't be able to win otherwise. So it is going to use Wrap until we are at low HP for Dragon Rage to KO. This is a strategy that this Dragonair uses, and we just want this Wrap to miss and our own Ice Beam to critical hit or freeze. Alright, so it missed. That is very lucky. We just need this Ice Beam to hit or critical hit or freeze. It critical hit. Alright, that is perfect. This should mean that we've won this battle. But you can never be sure with critical hits on their side of the battlefield. Alright, so this last Pokemon is usually never Golem, and usually also not Starmie. So Machamp is the most logical option for the last Pokemon. Low Kick, we should be able to survive that. And just one Ice Beam back. Maybe we can get a Freeze as a little luck bonus. Alright, so that did quite a bit of damage. I'm satisfied with what Lapras has done so far, really. Starmie should be able to finish this off because this Machamp doesn't have quite the good moves against Starmie, so we should be able to finish this off with one more Bubble Beam. And that might mean the end of the Pika Cup already. Alright, Bubble Beam, and that should be able to KO. Critical hit! That is a guaranteed KO. So that was the final battle of the Pika Cup. Man, we were lucky this time. This could have gone on for hours of just having bad luck on the moments we need the critical hit, or the paralysis, or the wrap to miss like that, things like that. So this has been the Pika Cup. I'm very satisfied with what we've managed to do so far. So thank you all so much for watching the second episode of part 2 of Pokémon Stadium, the 16th episode in total, not counting the bonus episodes. Thank you so much for watching the battle so far. It has been very fun and very exciting to be doing this. Thank you for watching once again. This has been Goku7, and I'll see you guys next time when we take on the Poké Cup.